Durag Wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Y2K 19.10.02. I don't know if Ms. Sullivan is still alive. She was my 9th grade English teacher. We were talking about this movie I was watching, 1984, with Edmund O'Brien and Jan Sterling and Michael Redgrave. And she told me to read the book. She said the book is better. That's the first time I heard that term, book is better, way back in the first part of the 9th grade. And I read the book, and it changed my life. George Orwell, warts and all. Again, this is a human being. Who knows what kind of person he was in real life. But this book he wrote, 1984, and of course Animal Farm before that. But 1984 changed my life. It made me even more aware of totalitarianism, thought control, and the like. And don't get me wrong, I think I've strayed off the path now and again, even flirted with religious extremism. But I'm happy I've come back to my senses and understand the full impact that 1984, the novel, had on me and is helping me, is a shield for me today in understanding exactly how this creep, Nazi, Trumpian creep works. It's right out of the book of 1984. Everything that this creep is doing. He's using doublethink, he's using the revision of history, he's using not newspeak, but newspeak in that book was a symbol of a political language designed to propagandize and confuse rather than to lead. So Trump is playing by this totalitarian Orwellian playbook, this 1984 playbook. He's calling it a coup against him, this impeachment probe. It's a coup. He says it's going to be a civil war. He thinks that this is a witch hunt. Doesn't even know the meaning of that thing, witch hunt. Most of the people that were murdered during the Salem witch hunts were women, accused of being witches. They weren't along the mainstream of the religious hypocrites of that Puritan age. So here we are. He's using the term coup, the most persecuted president in history. All revision of history, all doublethink, because remember, he was out there, he was one of the crumbs, one of the piranha lapping at Obama's heels. Birther while he was president. One of the worst detractors, one of the worst underminers of our country during a presidential administration. Obama's one of the worst enemies during that time was this Trump-Putin bastard. Birther. Prove it this, prove it that. And Obama humiliated this piece of garbage at that correspondence dinner or whatever. Because, unfortunately Obama gave in and showed the birth certificate. He should have never done that. But here he was. He said, hey, I'm here. I'm American as he is. Blah, blah, blah. And he's sitting there fuming. No one would have realized that we would one day put this pernicious, cancerous tumor, this fecal ball on the side of the road into our Oval Office, the most powerful seat in our country. Should have kept him in his solid gold toilet seat. So he's using all these terms. Coup. He's using the term fake news. Like that newspeak, political language. Witch hunt. And he's calling Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff. Not only did 1984 help me understand this creep, this Nazi Trump creep, this traitorous creep, this Putin-loving creep, but the WWF, formerly, that was it was called, now it's WWE. The cursed Vince McMahon, that creep. Hope none of his superstars get murdered like Owen Hart because of him, because of his negligence. But here it is, wrestling in all its glory. You got the heel, Trump, standing there in the ring, shifty shift. You know how the wrestling stories go. You know, they want to sell their big events. They want to sell WrestleMania. So they start the grudge match between their two superstars to be culminated at the big event, the pay-per-view event. And this is the same thing. He's doing the same playbook. I'm watching wrestling. I want to run Mick Foley for president. I want to run Dwayne Johnson. I want Dwayne Johnson to give him the people's eyebrow. Now, I'm not assuming that Dwayne Johnson or Mick Foley, who played like 3 different characters, who got himself hurt badly wrestling, I'm not saying they're liberals. Maybe they're Republicans. Maybe along with Bill Weld, they could prove what a real Republican is, a real conservative is, instead of the fake Trumpist Nazi you got in there now, which has destroyed the Republican Party as we know it. And we need it to come back in its original form in order to keep our two-party republic, or else turn into a totalitarian system. This is the playbook, everything that Trump is doing, his Nazi Trumpist party. It's all right out of this book, 1984. It's helped me recognize all the crap that he's doing. Shifty shift, coup. Now he's yelling civil war. Do you know that I've been saying that we've been in a civil war, a cold civil war, ever since the start of this guy's presidency? Check back if you have the time you want to waste. Check back. I've been talking about this cold civil war we're in. Because this Trumpist creep, double thinking his way, he's being persecuted. This is a coup. It's already been a coup. Putin won, and he's in there, and he's doing everything that Putin wants, including handing him Ukraine. Everything. And now he's getting worse than ever. Oh, we want to bring back the old days of beheading these spies. Well, let's bring back the old days like he wants. How about a president who's being a traitor against everything our country and our Constitution stands for? Who single-handedly has destroyed the Republican Party unless guys like Bill Weld can bring it back. But right now I'm talking about doublethink. I'm talking about the end of our country. Totalitarianism. You and I, everybody, has to look at this creep for what he is. And thankfully how stupid he is ultimately, thinking he's so smart, he's made this impeachment as easy as possible. He made the phone call, he put his pressure on, and the Ukrainians complied. End of story. He is trying to gain another term at the expense of our democratic republic. Our democracy is fragile. We must stand up. We must not sleep. We must not be lulled from commercial broadcasting and the reality show crap. See this totalitarian Trump for what he is. Read 1984 and see the playbook. And let's all together stand up. Let's smuggle knowledge to the world. Like they were doing in The Handmaid's Tale, the climactic scenes. Smuggle out the youth of the world. To spread the word of democracy. We have to smuggle those kids out. Smuggle youthful knowledge out. Go forward, evolve, get rid of the naked ape mentality, the savages, the Trumps, the Nazis, the fascists, the extremists, and march on, or even dance on. Step on. Step on to freedom!